Hey, hey, hey. It's your host, Alexis.
And your co-host, Truk.
Sit back and relax.
Because you're in good company.
Now, with this being finals week, and it's full of last-minute prep, the topic of hustle culture has been on both of our minds a lot. And I just wanted to, discuss and just really dive into the topic. But first of all, Truk, what's your major? Let the audience know.
So my major is general studies, and I have a concentration in business.
Nice.
Alexis, how about you?
So I'm also general studies, so we're twins. But unlike Truk, I have a focus on the arts, so I'm taking music classes, I'm taking acting classes. It's really giving liberal arts.
Yeah.
Okay. And how are you handling finals right now? Be honest.
Be honest, girl. Okay, so I am balancing like math classes as well as writing classes. So it's kind of ugly right now. I just turned in an assignment and got a 75 last night.
Ooh.
So we're balling. We're grasping for straws.
Listen, C's get degrees. We should strive to do our best, but C's do get degrees, and that's the saying for a reason. Honestly, for me, my grades are looking great. So good on me.
Yeah.
But I'm tired all the time. So
yeah.
it's a win-lose situation. I'm really excited that we are about to, be on a break. But I think for me, knowing I have a lot coming up after school is over, it's like it's not really over.
Right, because you're going to continue working.
Precisely.
After working.
Literally.
Like,
and actually getting into that, let's really, as I said,
that's why that was the intro, the precursor.
Come on. I first really want to talk about, do you feel like there's a glamorization of hustle culture? And do you feel like it, if it's so, does it still exist? Or was that a kind of like a prior to COVID thing? Because I know for me, I had seen a lot of people really, I don't know if hype up is the best word, but were almost romanticized, like overworking themselves, working multiple jobs, having like multiple streams of income, and really doing the most to get that bag, which I respect it. But to a point, it's like, are you even living or are you just working? And I think from what I've seen, COVID really made people take a step back because there was nothing to do. And all of a sudden, like the hamster wheel of life, we were like, whoa, how did we do this before? I know I was just in high school, but the amount of extracurriculars I was doing, the classes I was taking, I know when COVID hit and I was looking back at my schedule, I was like, there's no way I kept up with this. Like, genuinely, who was I? Because I'm never going back to her.
Honestly, I just want to say shout out to the high schoolers who have like hella mad like schedules, because
Seriously.
that used to be us. Like, literally, I don't know how we do it back then, because now we got a 2-day work week.
Actually, I kind of want to talk about how I was talking to my mother about this. Shout out, Mom. And I was saying, Mom, like, I used to be in class 5 days a week. I would do like crazy rehearsal hours. I had like 7 different classes. Now I'm going in twice a week. I do online classes, so it's not
right.
But I'm like, I'm tired. I'm going in physically 2 days a week. Mind you, I do work at home and everything, but I feel like the schedule that I now have it's strenuous, but not as, I don't really want to compare it because I feel like my time is just going to different things. So I'm not working any less, but it's honestly mind-boggling. Like,
yeah, because I'm just gonna tell you, back in high school, I was working like 6 days a week.
That's crazy.
Like,
that's actually insane.
Well, like working as in like I'm working on things, right? 2 days a week I'm at extracurriculars. 5 days a week I'm in school. Twice a week I'm at work. What the fuck was that in high school?
I don't even know.
Like, hustle culture was crazy.
Insane.
So,
it still is.
It still is.
But I do think that a lot of people are opening their eyes and being like, whoa.
But you know what's crazy? I've noticed like that there are specific groups of people who have doubled down on hustle culture during COVID. They're like, I have so much free time. I'm wasting time if I don't work. I've seen people.
Or like, they're like, so do you not have a business? Are you not doing something? Like, I found that when you take time to yourself, people are like, so what are you doing to be productive in that time?
Yeah.
Why can't I just take time?
Yeah. Like, as a person who literally used to be in hustle culture, when I'm taking a break now, I have better boundaries now. When I'm taking a break now, I still have these thoughts in my head of like, you're not being productive enough.
It's almost this guilt that arises that I feel like I'm wasting my time.
Mm-hmm.
But in a way, if I'm relaxing, that's not a waste of time. That's
You're taking care of yourself.
Precisely. You can't keep going 24/7. And learning that, I still struggle with, as I said, not feeling guilty for just taking time to myself, because I feel like I could be doing something with this time.
Yeah, no, same. Like, it's honestly so bad.
Wait, I will say, especially seeing like people our age like living it up.
Yes.
I can't
Yes.
Get me off social media. I don't want to see it.
Please.
I don't want to see it.
Every day there's another person opening up a new business and being incredibly successful.
Seriously.
And like, I think I'm the problem, low key.
Stop. No, society's the problem.
Society is the problem. We don't have enough money.
I took sociology and now I know all about capitalism. Let me not. I will say sociology was very eye-opening to like the system that we're in.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like this.
As a person who's taking economy, these systems were placed on purpose.
Oh yeah.
Everything's connected,
and
y'all.
we're not supposed to be at the top. We're supposed to be at the bottom of these systems, which I further dislike. But actually, I wanted to talk about even further beyond that. I know you're talking about like people starting businesses, and something I found and has been said to me, it's the shoot, I can't even talk right, but I'm gonna switch up my words. Basically, making money off your hobbies. Like, you're no longer your hobbies.
Yes.
Start a business.
Yes, they're like, oh, you can paint? Go sell that painting. Oh, you can like knit? Go sell your clothes.
Guys, I knit. I'm just gonna be completely transparent. Not that I'm ashamed of it. I knit, and so many people have been like, "Oh, you should start a business. You should sell your stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool and all, but
you just want to look cute,
right?" I feel like if I start selling stuff, it puts an added pressure. It's no longer just for me. And it's like, dang, like, I got to make sure my products are good. I got to make sure my lines are clean. That's a lot of work. I think in a way, if you can make money off something you love doing, go for it. Like, that's the goal, right? But at the same time, people pushing the need to commodify like everything that we do is absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
It's wild. I'm just like, then you end up hating it. You can, at least,
because you have all this pressure and expectations.
Precisely.
You are not allowed to have fun with what you're enjoying.
Precisely. And I'm like, that is such an unfortunate thing that comes from living in a
capitalistic society.
Like, that's just, it is what it is. And also, I'm curious. So, Truk, you said earlier you worked in high school. I've never had like a legit 9-to-5 job. I've had a few opportunities too, but something has always come up where it's just like, shoot, I can't take this on right now. And I want to know, what's that like? Because honestly, I'm terrified of entering the workforce simply because I feel like it's going to be extremely draining. I'm not going to have time for myself, or I'm going to get caught up in the hamster wheel that is like work.
That is work. No, okay, work is honestly so whack, but I'm very like grateful because I recognize the privilege that I have to have my first job be an office job and not retail.
That's
so
true.
I've never dealt with like that retail culture kind of thing. I've always done like, I'm in an office. I'm a little tippy little office lady. So entering the workforce, I've been working for 2 years now in a little vision therapy clinic. So, healthcare. Honestly, working in the workforce with like a legitimate field is wild because you get to learn all the like field tea. And as a person in healthcare, I'm listening to all these old white guys argue about treatment plans for patients. And I'm like, and also, completely unrelated, I just want to say that insurance fucking sucks. In this freaking the United States of the America, it makes me so sad because the insurance companies are so predatory towards
100%,
like the lower class of people.
When your eyes are open to just how twisted things are,
it's so bad. As a person working behind the scenes, it's so bad.
It's really heartbreaking. It's just like, this was not set up for us to win in any ways. Anyone succeeding is beating the odds, in my opinion.
Right. But anyways, being in the workforce, you learn all the workforce, like the field tea that you're in. But now that I'm 2 years deep, I feel guilty leaving it because everything is so understaffed. I don't know why we're all understaffed, but like suddenly the workforce isn't accepting any new people.
You're doing more work, but there's no more pay.
Yeah. I've been stuck with the same pay for a year now.
Wow.
I've only went up once.
Wow.
So full transparency. Like, it's not even like the pay isn't even that amazing. So I started at $11 an hour for 1 whole year, and I stuck with that.
Wow.
And I did a lot, guys.
11. You could get more at Target.
Yeah.
I think it's like $15.
Yes. The only reason I stayed was, this is an industry, this is a field,
right.
which is better than retail. So that was my logic.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Now I'm working at $17 an hour, but I'm doing like 5 different positions. So like, what the fuck? I was recently talking to a friend of mine, and she's in marketing. She gets paid $18 an hour, and she only has one position. She's like set.
Wow.
I'm overextending myself.
Yes,
for, like,
you are.
$1 less. Anyways, like, I just want to talk about like the decline of workforce. Like, I've seen so many TikToks,
or just people online in general.
Like, teachers are quitting, healthcare professionals are quitting, everybody's quitting, workforce is down, but the expectations are so high.
Yes, and then also rent is not getting cheaper.
It's getting expensive.
Mind you, we say this, we live at home.
I
want to be, but I've seen enough, and I have friends who don't live at home talking about their experiences, and it's like, whoa, they're not paying you enough to survive, which is nothing new. People have been saying that for a very long time now.
Right, like, paying people a living wage has been a thing since forever.
And I do want to talk about that because I feel that a lot of people, once they did get that break, were like, whoa, I don't want to participate in this anymore. Or even so, people are, I don't know, I feel like they're almost getting work smarter, not harder type of beat.
Which is good. I support that.
Because when you have like TikTok and Instagram and YouTube especially, if you're able to make money, like making videos, doing content, getting brand deals, go off. And a lot of people within kind of our age range are maximizing on that, and I think that's honestly really great for them. But then you have this weird contrast of like social media stars making more than doctors. Like, if you're at the top, like the top, I'm talking like 1 billion likes top, and it's like, whoa, no way you're making more than this literal surgeon. That's wild. I don't think people are getting paid evenly. Especially like if we think about teachers. The way teachers are being underpaid in the environments that they are having to work in, it's really, really unfortunate.
And people are just saying work more hours, work harder.
And
I'm like, that's not...
Come on.
That's not the
like,
root.
we need teachers, but they're not getting paid a livable wage. Yeah. Also, wait. I know I'm jumping topics a little bit.
Go ahead, girl.
But speaking on the recent push in AI has got me.
Yes!
Because it's going to be taking jobs. And at least prior, people were saying, well, like, the arts are safe, right? No, they're not. No, they're not.
I literally just saw a TikTok yesterday about an AI editing videos for people.
I saw that too.
I was...
Wait. Because me too, girl.
Because...
Let me not. It's really scary. I mean, we're talking about a bunch of different singers' voices being...
have you seen all the covers with all the AI voices?
People talking about at some point, if they don't need to pay artists, they won't. They won't.
Isn't that why like Beyonce went to Dubai because nobody was paying her enough in America? Like, I saw something like that.
Okay, listen, talk.
Because $3 million in Dubai, right?
Girl, I didn't know nothing about that. I know she performed there, but I didn't know that like
she got like a hella big deal like of money.
Wow. Okay.
And that's why she accepted.
Still.
Yeah.
No, and then also I've seen a lot.
Allegedly.
I mean, the freaking writer strike, so many writers, not even just like writing for scripts, right? Like writing for magazines, articles. I know BuzzFeed's like their whole is getting shut down.
Yes.
And people are talking about how they're going to have AI start writing the articles. But you got to remember, AI writes articles. They're using previous written work, right?
Yes.
So then no one's writing new articles. AI is filtering through old like articles, and then all of a sudden nothing's new.
AI doesn't have
opinions,
concepts, and thoughts.
Yeah.
Right.
And then also, oh my goodness, I'm kind of jumping around, but
Go
people
ahead.
who are like, you know that new Snapchat filter?
No, I don't use Snapchat.
Okay, me either. But on TikTok, it's been going wild. It's not even a filter. It's more like something you can do. You can DM an AI.
Oh,
right.
I did see that.
And people are sending photos of themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is like, what is
y'all feeding it? Bro.
Why are y'all doing this?
Y'all are feeding it.
They're gonna know exactly how we talk now. Like, it's just getting smarter. I saw this one girl sent a photo of herself, and the AI was like, "Oh, I like that pillow in the back." The pillow wasn't in frame. What's going on?
It's analyzing the whole thing.
Everything. I'm like, the guy who literally worked on AI for years was like, I've made a terrible mistake. He literally sat down and was like, yo, I think this was a bad idea.
Yo, I effed up.
I effed up. I'm like, yeah, you did. Thanks for that. So I think because what it comes down to is our society doesn't really seem to value a lot of its workers. Oh, well, I was going to say, like, even just people who work.
Yeah.
Unless you're in a certain position, you don't seem to be valued, right? And now, if they're able to have a whole machine, like an AI literally do the work for them, come on.
Yeah. No, personally, I think hustle culture is so deep rooted in capitalism.
Oh,
you wouldn't have hustle culture if people were paid what they need to live.
Precisely. And the whole thing of capitalism literally being created so that someone's at the top and someone's at the bottom. And it's usually sickening. Minorities at the bottom because white supremacy.
Oh my gosh, you know what's crazy? Okay, I don't know if this is true. I have no idea about anything about this industry or whatever. But I think it's crazy that even though we have machines and robots to make these things for us, we still have people in like India and China making everybody's stuff.
Okay, wait. So
we're still like
taking advantage.
We're taking advantage of people with like low income.
I think because
when we have robots,
you got to think it's way cheaper, and I'm assuming it's way cheaper to underpay people than to make a bunch of robots.
It is,
and have to redo the parts. And I saw a robot. It did about 15 minutes of like labor that they make them do in like these different. I don't even know what. Is it like a sweatshop? What is it?
Sweatshop factory.
Yeah. And the robot combusted after 15 minutes. Like it KO'd itself.
I think I saw that. I saw that TikTok. Robots don't want to work for us either.
Like, because it was analyzing its like decision. It was like this isn't worth it.
Yeah. And like you big businesses are like predating predators are being predators towards people with low income because they have nowhere else to go.
And I want to say, first and foremost, they're taking advantage of first generation immigrants, people of color. I don't know, some people like people of color, some people just like whatever term you like best. And when you look at it, it's super insidious. I mean, it's been insidious, but the fact that this system is still in place, I mean, it's because it works for them. Honestly, it works for the people that it's working for. But to think about that and to just look at what it's doing to people and the way they're so incredibly overworked, it's genuinely heartbreaking. Spend your whole life working and trying to provide, and it's still not being enough. That's crazy. Like, that's genuinely mind-blowing to me. And I would say that is why I'm so apprehensive to join, like, the legit workforce. I'm like, is there any way I can, like, finesse? I want to finesse. I don't want to be doing, the 9 to 5 at a job I really don't like, so I can just go home and watch my Netflix and have my hobbies and travel a few times a year. That's not the life that I desire, and I feel that more and more people are coming to that realization of, whoa, this is not what we want either. What are we to do?
I think it's actually crazy because I feel like with COVID, a lot of people are like, yeah, this is not what I want with my life, right? Mm-hmm. But to actually take actions towards that, we need to move collectively and take the power away from the bosses.
If we came together, and that's why it's really unfortunate that unity amongst those who are being taken advantage of doesn't exist in the sense, like, it's not widespread enough.
Because the top feeds us that you have to stand out from the rest. You have to be on your own. But, like, literally, guys, one thing that Europe does right is unions.
Well, I will say, seeing other countries, I don't know if this was Paris. It was
France as a whole.
Okay, France as a whole. But people were saying, oh, if we just did this, if we just did that. But people have done this.
Right.
But you got to understand, the way the police treats us versus how they treat people in France is very different.
Mm-hmm. Because in France, they're all French. You know what I mean? America is very diverse.
And you already know that there's it's a lot, like, straight up, a lot of people do not like because, going back to the history, there was an initial division that was put in place. So we're not all treated equally per se by everybody who is going to be dealing with these like protests or whatever is going on. It's going to be different treatment. And man, and as we were talking about like that whole thing of, they even do it amongst minorities. They'll be like,
yes, they'll create fights within minority.
Constant division. We can never come together. And we'll never make it like a genuine like stick it to the man type of change.
Right. I personally think that we just need to be a more collectivist culture.
For sure.
Like I was
gonna say, once again, let me not talk. I think I've heard that, and isn't it Japan that is a lot more unity? Like,
so yes. So in Japan, okay, so I'm not Japanese, so I can't say much. Japanese work culture is like actually hella crazy.
Actually, no, the work culture is insane.
The work culture is crazy, but their like
their community,
yeah, their community is like very. I want to help you. We are together.
Yes, no, the
kind of thing.
Work culture is actually crazy.
Work culture shit over there.
It's actually terrifying to hear the stories. But I was talking more like their community. Americans was pushed. And not every group of Americans are like this.
But like suburban America, you can literally see it physically.
Yeah. We're not necessarily a community. It's kind of like, okay, I'm going to do my own thing and look out for myself. And that's kind of what's been pushed. Mind you, I don't feel like this is for all groups because minority groups have their own little...
Right.
But the overall gist of like the vibe of America.
Yeah. So I saw this TikTok, like, I think over the pandemic. And this woman was talking about how in Africa... a homeless person who would actively choose to be homeless would be seen as mad. They're crazy. But a homeless person in America would be seen as lazy, right? It's different because in Africa, if you see a homeless person, a lot of the community would help that homeless person, like feed them and shelter them. But in America, if you see a homeless person, they're just there.
Yes.
Like different cultures pushing people out.
I was literally thinking about the same thing. And people talk about who aren't American, how absolutely insane it is to come to like LA, New York, DC, and to see the amount of homeless people and the lack of resources,
a lack of care,
they don't care. It really seems like the people who could make a difference just do not care to.
They don't.
And you could so easily be homeless in this economy. It's really terrifying. Pay is the same, rent goes up. And unless you have like a family who's going to help you out, you have financial backing, you're in a position to take care of yourself, you're kind of out of luck. Yeah. And once you get to that position, how are you supposed to get yourself out of it? I've seen people talk about who are homeless or were homeless. Listen, we go to try to get a job. We don't have a phone. We don't have an address. We don't have, what are we, those are all basic things that you're supposed to fill out. And how many people, you don't have excess when it comes to changing clothes. Who is going to genuinely be like, I'm just going to hire you? It's unfortunate. Yeah. But I just don't see people being that kind.
Like the system's just not set up for success like that.
So as I was saying, with the homeless crisis, because it is a crisis, that's what it is. And the lack of care and empathy that the people in charge seem to have for the individuals that are going through this honestly heartbreaking situations, because that's what it is. It really shows a lot that, come on, every time you see a debate, there's at least one person going, well, if they just got a job, if they just did this and that. So as I was saying, people who are genuinely able to somehow work the system and pull themselves up by the bootstraps, I think, we should praise them, like, go you. But also look at all the people who could have but couldn't because of circumstances. I just think of all the people who could have been like really made something of themselves, or simply if they had been placed in a better position, if they had like a better financial status, like standing, what could have been done for them. And to think about the fact and to think about the fact that they aren't where they should be simply because of like money, or you know what I'm saying? It's just like, wow. America don't be caring.
America be fucking it up.
They don't be, come on, they don't be caring. Unless, you're a certain
demographic.
You're a certain demographic, and then they're like, okay, come on, get it together.
Right.
Get it together. And that's why I do really hate when you see people coming at like lower income and being like, you basically, like, are minorities, you're here for free, or you're this and that. And I'm like,
I don't think it's valid because you guys are not giving them the resources to stand on their own. That's why they have to depend on you. And like, if you don't want them to depend on your tax money, then give them the opportunities to do
or like
better.
how when I found out like richer people pay less than like middle class in
Yes,
taxes
because
y'all had me geeked with that one.
They be buying like assets and shit, and they're not paying for like literal stuff.
Genuinely messed me up for a good minute. I said no way. Or the way as soon as you hit it like a certain age, I'm like, what do you mean they're gonna be taking money out of my paycheck? I'm not even 20 yet.
Yeah.
When I found that out, I genuinely had to. I was like, Mom, tell me I'm not joking.
I think it's crazy. Oh, sorry. Do you
No, continue.
I think it's crazy how there's some discussions that's happening right now about how like Social Security is like running out of numbers and that it might be like useless in the future.
Really?
I heard this a couple months ago. I don't know if it's true or not now. If they
we
figured
say that all
out.
the time. I don't know if this is true.
Look, I don't want to
transparency, you guys.
But like I hear that they're running out of numbers and that Social Security won't be used in the future, so we won't have a retirement fund.
Wow. Listen, all I know is I'm not saying that I worry for the future, but it is concerning to see kind of the state of things. It makes me want to be like, let me just up and move. I kind of just want to mess around to see what another country is like.
Oh, you're so real for that.
I mean, shoot. Honestly, Truk, how about we do it?
So we're going to, where are we going?
Where's the least racist country for us?
Girl, I don't know what to
I
tell
don't
you.
know.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. Okay, put a pin in that. Comment down below. I'm seriously, please. As we're wrapping up, we touched on a lot of different things, and hustle culture honestly touches a lot of different topics. I'm really happy we got to have this conversation, True. Like, it was a good one. Honestly, could totally do a part 2 because there's a lot to say about this, truly.
There's so much more nuance to this. I feel like we just scratched the surface today.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But as we're wrapping up, we're going to do our little segments.
Yes.
And I'll be going first as Truk gets her stuff
pulling up my thing. I have it this time, guys.
Okay, go off. Good for you. Actually, wait. So, there are 2 things. I'm going to do songs. But there's this one song, y'all. This is not even like, he's an old artist. I'm sure a lot of people know this man because it's literally Billy Joel. But I was listening to his song. I'm going to pull it up right now because this song literally encompasses what we were talking about. So that's why I had to mention it. It's Moving Out by Billy Joel. And the lyrics are wild because I'm sure a lot of y'all know the song, but it's the whole vibe of the song is, okay, so this is what society's like. We basically work and then we have our little hobbies, but we've broken ourselves so much by the time we do our hobbies, it's not even like worthwhile. Like, this isn't for me. And I'm like, whoa, Billy, you and I are the same.
Wow.
We are the same. So y'all, if you don't know the song, please give it a listen. It really, it just encompasses the vibe of this topic. But now for just like a fun little listen song, though it is a good song. Listen for fun. But I have an artist that I've been enjoying myself. And it's a smaller artist, though. If you guys are on TikTok chronically, you might know them. It's a brother-sister duo. And there's this song here. I'm going to show the camera because how do you even pronounce this? Yeah. Anyway, the song name is Wolves. It's very catchy, very good. I hope you can see that. I'll help you all out.
Edit.
Oh yeah, we gonna edit this in. But the song Eats, I would play it, but I don't want to get a copyright strike. And now into Truk.
So this week I actually learned about this morning. Apparently, there's this doctor called Dr. Berzinski. In the 1960s, who allegedly cured cancer. Cured cancer. And, like, the FDA has been, like, covering that up because healthcare is a whole fucking... It's a whole fucking scheme to make money. Patients are customers. Patients are not patients.
Okay, let's do...
we're making an episode on that.
I have so much to say about that. I want to say just quickly, there's a lot of people who supposedly have discovered a lot of different cures or, a lot of great alternatives, like for gas or different things like that, who suddenly died.
Missing.
or went missing.
One.
Listen, let me not, because they're going to come for us next. Listen! If something happens, it's because we were talking. We run our mouths a little bit too much.
Yeah. A little bit.
Please, government, don't take us out.
Right. But I basically watched like maybe 10 minutes of the documentary on TikTok in clips. But if you guys are interested in watching it, it is, the title of it is Cancer Cure Cover Up. It's posted on Real Stories, that's the YouTube channel. And yeah, basically how in the 1960s, Dr. Berninsky found a cure to cancer. And
that would have saved a lot of lives. That is actually really sad.
Girl, it's like 60 years later and shit is still hitting the fan.
Do you know what happened to the doctor?
No, I don't know. I only watched like 3 clips.
Well, okay. Well, maybe we're going to find out. And yeah, I want to say thank you all so much for watching. Shout out to the Humanities Department. Shout out to Bobby. Woo! Now, this is going to be our last episode in this room for a little while, so enjoy it while it lasts. But we're going to be coming out with a lot of new episodes soon, so
see you guys next season.
Bye!